Hi, I'm Aisha.
Hey, I'm Jasmine.
What's up? It's 1228.
And we're IJT Productions.
Hey, IJTers. Welcome back to another IJT video. We have a very special guest here. Okeema, Forever Established, is here with us today. And of course, we have 12 and the beautiful Aisha here. So we're gonna, just catch up with, actually, Okeema is our friend from high school. So we're gonna be doing some catching up to see how her life is. She has a YouTube, she has her Instagram, and we're just gonna talk about high school and also what it's like being in the Navy and, how this pandemic brought about a blessing, so yeah, so I'm so happy that you're here, Keema.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just get into it. We went to high school together, so let's catch up really quick. How you been? Where you living?
It's been a long time coming, and now that I look back, it's kind of weird to say that it was like what 10, almost a decade ago that we was in high school. Like it's just like whoa. But I mean, I feel like we've all grown and we all like kind of went our own separate ways. But it's good that we kind of came back and kind of connected. So as far as high school, like I said before, it was one of those things where I just didn't know where I was going to go. Like 12th grade was like a really hard time for me because a lot of people at that time, they already knew I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I was just stuck. Like it was one of those things where I was just gonna just go with the flow. And then I kind of ended up in the military. But how was it for y'all in 12th grade or just in high school in general?
Okay. Well, I gotta say this because I ain't part of the party, you know what I'm saying? I ain't go to high school with y'all. So but but I'm gonna say for me, like I was the same way in the 12th grade. Like I really didn't know what was really the next thing. Like, I had some ideas, but I didn't have like a set like structure thing. So for me, I just was like, well, first I was like kind of nervous if I was even going to get through a senior year because I was always late for school. You know, I was always late for school. I was a good student, but I always was late for school. I just would always like put snooze on my alarm clock. So I would get up the time I'm supposed to get up. I'll press snooze, go to sleep for 5 more minutes, and then I'll wake up and it's like 10 a.m. So my whole senior year, like my first period teacher was telling me, like he was like pleading with me. He was like, if you could just get here like 3 days out of the 5 days, like I could pass you. So I remember like that was like a uphill battle because I was very nervous that like just due to my me being late all the time, like that was threatening me actually graduating. And I remember like he I think I made it like 2 weeks straight. Like I think I got in like 2 weeks straight where I wasn't late. And I think that's what helped me pass. And he was so proud. Like he really was like, I felt like he really was like rooting for me. He was just pleading with me. He was like, come on, like I just need you to get here. Like, come on. I'm like, he was trying to like really make it so that I can pass. But I didn't really have a game plan, to be honest. Like I didn't um have a set college plan or where I was going to work in my career and all that stuff. That all came like after high school. But I'm gonna pass it to Aisha. How about you? What was your senior year?
It was set. So I thought I was going to be at the University of Miami. I thought that I was going to be like, okay, University of Miami didn't happen because my mother said one thing that really messed me up and was like, if you go to Miami, who's going to do your hair? This time I was like, not natural. Like I was straight up hot combing my hair. Like, what? Like we were natural. I never had a perm, but I was like, oh my God, you're right. And that steered me to like Penn State. Got to Penn State and was like, yeah, I didn't like the campus once I visited. So University of Bridgeport in Connecticut was set like psychology. I was gonna be this psychologist, marriage and family therapist, and social worker type thing, or a school counselor. But I had transferable skills. Like I knew that that was gonna be something there, but
Right.
It wasn't like the set thing. So I had an idea. Plus, coming from a household where like, both my older sisters was in college. Like I'm already my senior year in high school. They were already like getting their masters and stuff. I was like, oh, I had no choice. So it was set. Yeah,
that plays a role too. I was the oldest, so everybody was looking up to me, you know, as the oldest.
Yeah.
What about you, Jasmine?
Jazz, talk to us. What you had going on, Jazz?
Nice. Okay.
12th grade.
12th grade? I don't remember.
Because it's like that next step. So like, what was it like about to leave, you know, high school?
I was excited to leave high school, honestly. I was just done with it. But honestly, I don't remember high school. I really don't remember the 12th grade. Yes, I don't remember the 12th grade. I can't for the life remember. All I remember is that I was in an advanced placement class, and Miss Farinacci, we had to write those papers. Like, she's like, I need those papers, or she's not gonna graduate.
Yes, and that falls back on like the pressure that there was. It was so much pressure. Like,
yeah.
Like, papers. Okay, that's all I remember is just writing. Oh, and math B. Don't get me started on math B.
Yo.
And Spanish. Oh, forget it.
I was going to be a math teacher, but after that one math B teacher, she missed. I'm not gonna blow her up, but she was one of my favorite colors.
Let's not say no names.
Her last name was one of my favorite colors, but I learned how to forgive. But yeah. So yeah, that was.
I had a hard time. Anytime, and this is not to be like racist or nothing like that, but if a teacher had an accent, like a really thick accent, I just feel like that's like you putting me at an unfair advantage. Like you already trying to teach me I'm supposed to learn how to speak Chinese with these y equals mx plus b and all these formulas, and then the person that's telling me this, I can't even hardly understand them. Like I felt like that was a setup. Like that was an epic fail for me when in high school, because like I really had the desire to learn, but it was like, yo, I could not understand the teacher, and we all was like, I'm like, am I bugging? Or everybody's like, yeah, we not getting it. But that was a difficult thing. I'll never forget. I'm not gonna say no names, but I had this one math teacher, and that was like, when I tell you the struggle was real, like that was intense. But I made it out somehow, and yeah. Did y'all do y'all have regents and all that, right? How many regents did y'all have to take?
Yeah, we had regents for sure.
Yeah.
All of them, whatever was
advanced regents,
advanced regents, diploma,
You got an advanced regents?
They set us up like that. I don't feel like they gave us a choice. We was all set like that.
Yeah, I think because we was already in the advanced class or the.
Oh, okay. Y'all went to the good public school. See, for me, like
I wouldn't say a lot, but okay.
But I guess like that was like a thing, like to have an advanced region diploma. Like y'all making it sound like, oh, that was just normal. Like, no, that was like a big deal. Like not everybody had one of those. So when I had one, I was flexing a little back on front. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my little advanced regents. And shout out to me. I passed the Italian regents.
Okay, shout out to you.
Now I don't speak a lick of Italian. Hopefully the statute of limitations is passed and they can put two and two together. But guess what? I passed that thing, and that's what helped me get my advanced regents diploma. So yeah, shout out to that. So all y'all got advanced regents diplomas.
Well, I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You got one too. Yeah, you got advanced regents diploma.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all did
that. They were like the top 5 students in high school, and I remember I got one of those awards.
Yes, she took it.
So I guess I had to have.
Well, yeah, you got to remember, Jasmine don't remember much of high school.
I don't remember. Listen, I remember doing hair in high school.
Okay.
That was your hustle?
Yeah, I used to do hair. I used to do my classmates' hair so I could learn how to do hair. So I do remember that.
Okay.
Wow. So you was getting to the money. You was already an entrepreneur.
I was doing the weaves, the braiding, the straighten, the flat iron. I'll take the weave out too and color it. So yeah, I was doing all.
Oh wow. Shout out to Jazz for being an entrepreneur from day one. I like that.
I never got my hair braided or anything by you. Man, I missed out.
Oh really?
Uh-oh.
I got mine done. It was twin day.
I remember when it was picture day for our graduation. And I think Lavinia came over, Tashana. It was like some of us that came over was at my house, and we were just doing our hair, getting ready for the next day.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had a set, that you use in a salon, and I had like all 25 different curl, like all types of stuff. So we would come in and do hair and stuff like that. So that's what I remember.
Cool.
That's dope. So let me ask y'all this, because we graduated in a different time. I graduated 2010 in high school. So yeah, I'm not gonna put y'all age out there. But what do you guys think it would have been like if we had like social media the way it is now? Like what would that have been like?
I mean, we had Skonex.
We did. Shout out to
we had
Skonex.
some form of social media. It wasn't.
We had MySpace. Yeah, we had like MySpace. Facebook was like starting to be a thing.
If you wasn't in somebody's top 10,
yeah,
top 25, Lord.
But it wasn't as prevalent now. Like, as far as the technology wasn't there. Like, those platforms they didn't have. Like, I think those was websites, right? Like, I don't even think MySpace was an app. Like, that was a website that you logged in.
Like, we have apps like Instagram, for instance. Like, if we had Instagram in high school, I don't think I would have known.
I just don't think the focus would have been the same. Like, I don't know. We came up.
Probably wouldn't be on this call. I'm just kidding.
Wow. you probably.
Listen, it breaks and it makes you just don't know, especially like if you have cliques at high school, and you know how that could be. Like one person against another, but you could be cool with this person, but the other person you cool with not cool with this person that you cool with. So you gotta choose a side, and you're like, oh, so you so you with this person. I saw you on Instagram. Yeah, or I saw you on Instagram with this guy that I'm talking to. It could just get like really crazy.
I think we had the right time. I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel that too. And then the transition. I don't think you knew, but our school was in one area, and then we went and moved to a different area. So like high school, we had to like adjust to a lot of different things, and it was just like a slap in the face kind of for us. But I wanna kind of correlate it to the Navy, because I want to say 12th grade. I don't know if you had to wear a uniform, but they kind of started mandating us to wear a uniform. And I felt like that was kind of like a discipline thing. And that was kind of like how I can relate it back to the Navy. Like we all had to dress the same. So I was Jasmine, you don't remember that?
No, we didn't have no uniform.
Yes, we did.
At the door. Like I won't say her name, but she was checking us at the door. I got in trouble on so many occasions because I didn't have on my uniform.
I don't remember.
A white collar shirt and khaki or black pants.
The only kids in my school that had to do a uniform was the ROTC, the JROTC kids. They the only ones that had to do uniform, but everybody else, like I said, we didn't go to no fancy. I didn't go to a fancy.
We wasn't in no fancy school. It just was something that they just was trying to implement, because we had another school in our school that already had, uniforms. So they were trying to it was like competition. They were trying to make our school just as good as their school. I guess that's how I seen it.
I saw like more of like financial. You got kids with Jordans and other kids don't got that.
That plays a big role too.
But we did have little dress down Friday kind of thing, but it was a dub Monday through Thursday uniform.
I only remember
we didn't have no uniforms in my school. Wow. So when you were in high school, right? Like I feel like for me, just from like freshman year to junior year, I think junior year for a lot of kids in my school was like that turning point. Like that's when like the people like really, really became gang members. That's when like people really started selling drugs. Like people kind of like, it was like a make or break. That's when people started dropping out. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm like, what you doing? Oh, you going to class? Like, oh, no, I'm not going. Like, what you mean you're not going to class? Like, no, I'm done with school. Like, bro, we sophomores. Like, what you mean you done with school? So how was that like the same experience for y'all? Like, was it that turning point? Did y'all see that in y'all school?
I felt, for me, yeah, I felt pressure. Like they was putting college in our mindset already because we was like the second graduating class. So they had like the seniors, the first senior class showing like them going to college and things like that. So it was like junior year, like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna work? Are you gonna go to school? Are you gonna do the military? Like Okeema, like that was still like something like you gotta make it by senior year, you gotta know, like we telling you this now. Like they was getting us ready for regents and things like that, like the most during that time. So yeah, for me, I could say it was coming.
Okay. That's interesting because it seemed like it was like that breaking point. And like now that I look at it, because they say hindsight is 2020, like when I really think back, like I didn't take high school seriously. Like I'm gonna be real. Like I wasn't really taking it seriously. Like everything the guidance counselors and all these people were telling me about, oh, get a scholarship. And I'm just like, whatever. Like I really wasn't kind of like Jasmine saying, like I was there, but then again, like my mind was just somewhere else. Like I was just so young and like in the moment of like my friends and like whatever was going on. I wasn't really like future minded, you know? So I can see why you can say like you don't really remember so many things because it's like it seemed like a long time for 4 years, but then it don't at the same time. Like that 4 years kind of like went by fast. So like we said, like it's been a decade. Like that time really went by quickly. So like I definitely was not thinking about this part at all whatsoever, like at all when I was in high school.
I feel like it just smacked me in my face 12th grade. Like I felt like ninth grade, you're a freshman. So and they always like, oh, freshman Friday, like, it's all the little talk about like how certain things is going to happen to the freshmen. So I was like nervous, but like trying to be like concerned and curious as to what's going to happen. So I spent the whole ninth grade just trying to figure out like where I stood. And then when I got to the 10th grade, it was just like, okay, I know where I'm at. I know everybody had their little groups or they cliques. So it was like that comfort zone in 10th grade. And then 11th grade, like Aisha said, that's when they started hitting us with like certain things. They were just like, all right, what are you going to do? Because 12th grade is like right around the corner. And, you got to make sure you have this, that, and the third. And then as like 12th grade was there. And that's when everything took a toll for me, at least. Like, I was just overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed. And I've always been the type of person, like, just education in general, I always took it serious. I know how you said 12, like you didn't really take it that serious or whatever, but I took it serious. I've always taken school serious because I felt like education is something somebody can never take from you. Like the knowledge that you have, nobody can ever take that from you. But I just didn't know what I wanted to do. That was my only thing. I just did not know what I wanted to do.
So how did the military though? Like that's what I'm curious. I'm sorry, Jasmine. That's what I'm
excited for the record. Okay, I know 12 said that, just like Jasmine, I didn't really care about school. I did really care about school because I was.
No, I didn't say you didn't care. I didn't say.
Remember.
That out there.
I didn't say you didn't care about school. I never said that.
Okay.
You said remember.
Yeah, I said just the memory of it. Yeah. So. I'm not putting you out there like that. I ain't trying to put that on your name.
All I heard was like, I don't like school in the same sentence.
See, you forgetting already. See, Jazz, you forgetting already. I ain't even say that. Like,
no, all right, cool.
It was remember, but for Okeema, that part when you said like you feel like it slapped you in the face, then how did the military pull up?
Oh my gosh, it's such a long, toxic story. But I am going to do a video on my YouTube channel, so y'all can check out my YouTube channel at KeemaSoEstablished. But I'm just gonna like sum it up.
Put the plug in there.
I'm gonna sum it up.
Plug that channel, okay?
So I was involved with somebody that was already in the military at the time, and they basically, they was like, well, what do you think you want to do? And I was like, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to college. I think I want to take a year off from school because like I said, I was done with school and then I'm gonna go to college. And he was like, well, why don't you join the military? Like you got all these benefits, blah, blah, blah. And I'm a girly girl. So me at the time, I'm just like, I'm not about to join nobody's military. Like that's not something I see myself doing. So I want to say push came to shove and I kept going on all these interviews. I did end up going to college. I got my associate's degree in health information technology. And I could not get a job, you guys. Like, it was so hard for me to get a job in New York. And, you know, I was raised on the American dream. Like, you go to school, you go to college, you get a good job, you get a house, blah, blah, blah. So I was like real adamant about getting that job and just being, you know, get my career going. That didn't happen. So after an interview in Brooklyn downtown, I ended up running into a recruiter, a Navy recruiter. And I was like, what the heck? Let me just go over here and just hear what he got to say. So he basically told me he told me everything I needed to hear. And after that, that was it.
What year did you join the military?
I joined in 2011.
Wow. Okay. Are you still active right now, or?
I'm not active anymore. I did my 4 years active and my 4 years reserve. So now I'm just a veteran.
Oh,
Okay,
shout out to
I
you.
still get the benefits of, you know, honorable discharge.
Honorable discharge.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
So what was that experience like? If you could like summarize it, you know.
I feel like if you're gonna join the military, because a lot of people did reach out and they was asking me questions about it. I feel like it's one of those things that you have to be mentally prepared. If you're gonna go in it for the money and like just the looks of it, you're not gonna make it. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Because it's one of those things where you'll get, because even I did it. I got there and I was just like, what did I get myself into? Boot camp will make or break you. Like, for real. Like, it's the stuff they put you through, like, it's just, whew, like, what? I mean, they yelling in your face. Like, I never had nobody like this close in my face, like just like yelling at me, like for no reason. Like, it'd be like the situations that you just can't believe. Like, what did I get myself into? But at the same time, it made me the person I am today. It made me stronger. It made me think about discipline and like having structure in my life. Like, those are certain things that comes with, you know, the decision that I made. So I don't regret it, but will I do it again? No, I wouldn't do it again. I definitely wouldn't do it again, because now I know like the seriousness behind it. And I've seen a lot of things that I wish I didn't see, but that's what I say. It just came with the decision that I made. But
yeah,
just
we have to
y'all
talk
gonna get
about
the
that
whole
next
story on that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's
we got to do a part 2 and talk about the whole the whole tea with the military thing.
Oh my
so,
God.
So, you know, I think that's interesting, because similar to like your story, like I went, like when I got out of high school, I got me a little job, Century 21 in the city. That was my first job. And, you know.
That was my first job too.
Oh, for real? That's crazy.
Manhattan.
yeah, about a ferry, yep. So that was my first little gig, you know. So I'm 17 because my birthday's late. You know what I'm saying? My birthday's December 28th. So I'm still 17 while all my other friends is already 18. So we all out of high school. I'm 17. So I'm working there. I got the red tag to let everybody know I'm 17 years old. And, you know, it was cool. Like, it was some level of independence. Like, I'm getting a paycheck every week. Like, okay. So I'm like, this is cool. But then I'm like, wait a second. Like, I had an epiphany. I'm like, I'm looking at the coworkers. I'm like, okay, she's 50. He's 60. He's 30. He's 28. And I'm just like, we all make the same amount of money. Like, and I'm like, this ain't nothing to, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't balling or nothing. So I'm just like, okay, well, what didn't they do that I need to do now? Cause I'm 17 years old. I'm a fresh chicken. So it's like, what did they do that got them in a position to be working at like a place like the Century 21 at that age? You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, a light bulb went in my mind and said, well, go to college, right? So I go to college, and, you know, that still didn't feel like that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went there, I'm like falling asleep in class, like I'm just like all the way out of it. But the one thing that even when I was in school, like that always followed me was music. Like, I couldn't run from it. Like, I thought like I was gonna be a normal person as far as like go the traditional route, like go to school, get a job. But like music was always like pulling me. Even when I was in high school, like I was even like thinking of the extreme, like I'm about to be like Nas. I'm about to drop out of high school and make a classic album and sign the, that's where my mind was at the time. But it was interesting, like when you get into the real world in a sense and you get a taste of that, like the reality of it, like all of the stuff that I guess you have in your mind, it becomes a different thing. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, you know, we think things is a certain way, but when you get grown, like, how did it feel? When did you realize, like, wait, like I'm grown, like I gotta like do something different? Like, how did that happen for y'all?
Well, I guess I'll go. We got cricket silent. You know, honestly, it really got real for me. Not even like after college, but it was when I had a baby.
Okay.
That's when it got real for me. By this time, I was already married. Like even marriage didn't do it for me. It was just like when I had a child, and then like soon as I gave birth, like 2 months later, I went back to school because I was in school, but then I stopped going to school because I'm like, man, like this career that I'm doing is not even a job that I have. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing something else, getting paid. You know, I can pay my bills. Like, why am I breaking my neck about school? You know?
Right.
But then I had my child, and I'm like, okay, now I got to think about my son. So I need more money. Like I need to advance in my career. So I got to go back to school and get my degree. So like my baby 2 months, I'm in college and my baby looking at me as I'm writing essays and paper. And I'm telling you, like, that was like the hardest time just to be a new mom, married and going to school and working. Like,
Wow.
I don't, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. So that was when it finally clicked to me.
Okay.
I would
Well,
say it's always been.
reality hit for me was, I want to say, deployment. The deployment that I had, that's when reality hit, because when you're on deployment, like, of course, you're away from everybody, but not only that, like, you're overseas. So, like, and they cut off internet connection because they don't want you to try to, like, tell anybody where you're at, because that's, like, a risk factor. But just being away, and at the time, I had a son. So I had my son in the military. That's like, it's such a long, crazy story. Oh my God. But it was hard and it was depressing to just have a baby, and then they just like, oh yeah, you gotta go, we're shipping you off, you gotta go here. That's when reality hit, because it's like, I done brought this baby into this world, and now I'm trying to, get my career, going and stuff like that. I had to think about it. I had to say, like, is this something that, because things change once you have kids, like, you gotta, like, it's not about you no more, basically. So that made me open up my eyes and just, take a step back. Is this something that you really want to do? And I stuck it out. And, it's one of those things where you'll get criticized for like leaving your kid, and you'll get criticized for just taking your kid and then not fulfilling your career. It's always those what ifs, but it's something that you have to decide and you have to live with. So it all depends on how you feel. Go with your heart.
I want to say junior year of college was real for me. I went to college right after high school, but it always felt real because I knew that stuff was going on back home because I was living on campus. So they try to like, my family try to like shelter you from that. Of course, you're the baby, so you're not supposed to know everything that's going on, but you could like read through context clues because you got older siblings with that big mouth. So like, yeah, I threw shit at them. Oops. So like, you find out things from there. So I'm like, Dad, when I get out, I got to do this, that, and the third. And then senior year, you're looking for a job on a BlackBerry while you're out with your friends, putting your resume out there. You know how tough that is? Job searching. Like, as soon as I graduated in like May, I was like, got a job in August, literally the day before my birthday. It was like, this is real. But saw my salary and was like, I graduated and this is how much I'm making. Nah, we got to go to grad school. Like it was real since like junior like college. Like you got to do something, you got to help out. It's not about you. Like you're paying bills. Like, yeah, you pay your phone bill from freshman year on, but like, no, like you got to help out and do this and do that in the third. So that was the part where it was like, your family's been there to support you. So now you return the favor. So that's just what it was. So yeah.
Got you. So, Keema, I wanted to ask you specifically, like doing the military, being the mom and everything like that, and even the stuff that you got going on right now. how do you balance everything? Like, how do you keep it together with all of the creative endeavors that you want to do, also taking care of family and all that good stuff? Like, how do you balance everything?
I think for me, like I said, I had to like make a mental note in my head and basically ask myself, is this something that you see yourself doing? Is this something that you can continue doing? And then once I realized that this is something I wanted to do, I just found time. Like I made certain things priority, you know, like you have to like have a plan, like basically just have a plan. So I have a planner now. I have certain things where even time for myself, like sometimes I have to take time for myself. Like it's just certain things that you have to put in order to prosper and continue to be on that level of like focus, you know, like because a lot of things can deter you and make you feel like, you know, like like this is not for you, or maybe like this is not where you're supposed to be. But I always have to tell myself like, no, you are where you're supposed to be. And it's all about the balance too, like just having that balance. Like everything is about balance, at least for me. That's how I'm able to keep going. Like it's certain situations where you have to like spend time with your kids, make sure you have that time with your kids, make sure you have time for yourself, make sure you have time to get certain things done. So I think it's all about prioritizing, if that answers your question.
Absolutely. So, how how is your experience like now that we are a year removed from the pandemic in the sense as far as like things starting to open up? Like, how was your experience
That's
during being in
funny.
the pandemic?
It's like a touchy situation because there's a lot of people that suffered during the pandemic. And you know, I feel really bad for the people that, you know, lost their lives and had to go through certain situations. But honestly, for me, it was a blessing in disguise for me. Like a lot of doors started opening up for me. I just sat back and I kind of started to realize like to take things slower, you know, to get kind of got a better way of understanding my family, if that makes sense, because we were all, you know, we were, of course we lived together, but once you just come, you know, together all the time, like you kind of like, you get to understand them better as a whole. So that played the major, you know, a big part in the pandemic. And then just realizing like not to take things for granted, people for granted. Like it was like a realization thing for me. But at the same time, that's how I was able to join my start my YouTube channel, because I stopped working because my son stopped going to school and stuff like that. So that was the time for me to like step back and kind of figure out what I wanted to do next. So it benefited me in general, me.
Okay.
Well, now that you mentioned your YouTube channel, tell us about it. You know, before we go, we'd love to hear about, you know, like what your channel's all about.
Okay, so I started my YouTube channel, I want to say 2018, and things didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to go. So I kind of got discouraged. But like I said, when the pandemic started, I was like, this is my chance to like start it up again. So this January 2021, I gave it that, you know, I put my all into it. I studied everything. I tried to learn it and I just put it out there. So my channel is based on like motherhood, lifestyle, and I'm trying to do a mixture of a little bit of everything just to see what my audience wants. So once I figure out like where exactly what avenue I want to go in, then I'll probably just stick to one thing. But right now it's a little bit of everything. And it's growing. It's getting there, you know? Like I'm proud of myself.
That's wonderful. So, you know, I think, you know, I've seen a couple of your videos on your channel, and like you said, it's like motherhood. Like I've seen some makeup stuff. I've seen, you know, you and the family. What is some things that we could be looking forward to seeing on your channel? Or, you know, you don't want to give us any sneak peeks, but that would be great if you tell us like what can we expect from your channel coming up.
Well, y'all can expect some story times because I have a lot of stories. And I know y'all did say y'all want me to touch more on the military. Y'all gonna get the whole full story of that. I mean, I can't wait to come back and do a part 2 for the military part, but it's gonna definitely be a video just specifically on like why did I join the military and you know, the pros and the cons that come with it. So a lot of story times where y'all can kind of get a better understanding or certain experiences I went through. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Look forward to hearing that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So, Aisha, you got a question?
I don't have a question, but I just have a disclaimer 12. When you said about the people that you was working at Century 21 with, and they were like all different ages, I just want to say that people who work those jobs might not necessarily be in situations of like they don't have a degree per se. Because for currently speaking, like just transparent, I work as a part-time as a cashier in the shop, right? And I'm
Right.
sitting on the MSW. So I just want you to know that, like, before you even like, I don't know if you spoke to them or anything like that, but you don't know who could have had a PhD and was like, I really like retail.
Yeah, it was the conversation.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it was the conversations that I was just like building with them because I was young, so they always embraced me as like, you know, I guess they looked at me as their son or nephew or whatever the case may be. So I would, you know, I'm like, I think the world is like, you know, I'm 17, my eyes are so bright, I'm thinking like everything is just happy go lucky, and they like, nah, like it's real out here, like child support. Like I learned about child support. I learned about, you know, debt and things of that nature. Like, oh, I like, so, you know, it's not to, and I don't want to like sound like I'm discrediting anybody too, because somebody could probably watch this and feel some type of way, like, you know, but I just wanted more for myself. So, and I didn't want to be in that lifestyle because not only did I have those conversations with them and pick their brain, but I also listened. You know, I listened to the complaints about, oh my God, I got to do this again, or this ain't enough, or oh, I got to do overtime. I'm so tired, and I'm just like, I'm young. I'm like, I don't want to be tired at 50. I want to be like living up and enjoying, or like getting ready for retirement and things like that. So it's like I think it's important to have mentors or people that can give you a roadmap, because like you said, Aisha, you had your older siblings like that already went to school. That wasn't a thing in my family. It was like, listen, just graduate. Like if you can graduate and do a good job, that's success. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was held to some high standard, like, oh, you need to get in the NYU, or you feel me, you need to go to Harvard. It was just like, get a 65. You get a 65, you good. You know, so there wasn't like college wasn't a big deal for me because it just didn't seem like something that was really attainable. You feel what I'm saying? It just felt like, oh, that's for them people. That's not for me. Like I don't know nobody that I could call on the phone like that has a master's degree. You know, like now, since I'm older, like my younger siblings, like they graduated from, not my, excuse me, my younger cousins and things like that, family members like graduated, but like my parents and my siblings, it was just get out of high school and you good. Like, you know, so I think it's important to have some level of standard, you know. So it's like, I guess you could say family tradition in a sense. Before we leave, Okeema, I wanted to ask you, you know, as far as you know, you have children now, and you know, when they get older, like if they wanted to join the military, like would you encourage them? Or do you have like some type of roadmap that you want them to follow when they get, you know, 17, 18, at that time, college years, military years? Like, what do you think about that?
I do believe that everybody have their own, you know, mindset. But if they come to me and they question me about the military and they want to join, I feel like I'm going to support them. I am going to support them. But at the same time, I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm going to tell them like, it's not one of those easy things where you just get in there and everything is all peaches and cream. Like you're going to go through tough times. You're going to go through tough times. Like there's no way around it. Like you're going to go through tough times and you're going to feel like you're alone and like this, you know, why did I make this decision? But if it's something that you really, really want to do, then I'm all for it. And that's just me. And both of, you know, me and Eric, which is my kid's father, we're together and stuff like that. We both did the military. So of course I'm going to have him speak to them as well. So they can get like a second, you know, opinion. But yeah, I support it. I definitely support it.
Beautiful. So we want to thank you again, Keema, for joining us and having a conversation and taking us back and reminiscing on the regents and high school and all that good stuff. So can you just do us a favor and tell the people one more time about your YouTube channel and tell people where we can follow you so we can support what you got going on?
Yeah, most definitely. Y'all can find me on KeemaSoEstablished. That's my YouTube channel. And then Forever Established, that would be my IG. I'm most active on IG, but like I said, I'm going to start posting more videos to my YouTube channel. So check your girl out.
Beautiful. So make sure y'all go subscribe. Make sure y'all go follow her and support all the content that's going on. And we thank you so much, Okeema, for joining us and being part of our conversation and discussion. And
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And for the people that's watching, y'all know what to do. Y'all gotta meet us in the comments. Tell us about your high school years. Tell us about, you know, facing the real world. Like, when did you get hit? Like, yo, I gotta be an adult now. Like, when did you get hit? Let's talk about it. So see y'all in the next video. And thank you so much, Okeema, for joining.